For many people, when they think of Florida, they think of sandy beaches, beautiful homes, citrus trees, and of course, Disney World. But Florida is also a major beef producing state and is home to 5 of the top 10 cattle operations in the country. In fact, nearly half of all the Sunshine State's agricultural land is involved in cattle operations. And while the beef industry has provided jobs and revenue, it has sadly also come under attack by those who claim it is despoiling water quality and hurting the environment. Are these claims true? That's what we'll explore in this edition of Conservation Nation. Raising cattle has a long history in Florida. In fact, the first beef-producing cows were brought to North America by the Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon in 1521 here in Florida. That proud tradition remains alive today. I spoke with 2 cattle ranchers, Matt Pierce and his cousin Brad Ferris, who own and operate ranches outside of Okeechobee, Florida.
Brad Ferris, and I'm 7th generation cattle family here in Florida. We operate the ranch together, my mom, my 2 brothers and I.
I'm a 6th generation Florida rancher. My family's born and raised here along the Kissimmee River shores, and that's kind of all I've known, caring for wildlife, cattle.
They're not only proud of their profession, but they also believe it has been unfairly characterized as being harmful to the environment.
And that's probably the biggest misperception that folks have, is that we're out here making millions and millions of dollars off of the land and abusing it and not taking care of it. And that's kind of hurtful in a way. It's a tone that as growing up, you know, I tell people I was born with a sword in my hand, and that sword is what we defend our industry with to the people that don't get to see the ranching aspect of what we do with wildlife and water.
To demonstrate how cows keep Florida green, Matt took me around his ranch to showcase how he and his fellow ranchers take great care of stewarding their operations in an environmentally friendly manner.
To get back to your question of what people think about a conservation easement, is that it stimulates the economy because you've still got ranching on the landscape. So that money is generated in town. We take calves and we ship them west, and we get outside money that comes back into the state, which is positive. We're taking care of the land cheaper than if, you know, the alternative is the state just comes in and buys the property.
The cattle are keeping this space green. This is a place where wildlife has a sanctuary and they're protected. We work together with them. The deer browse, the cattle graze, they're not competing for food sources. So it's trying to explain that to people that don't get to see it and live it every day like we do.
So when you take cattle off of a property, the wildlife kind of goes away too, because the cattle build trails that the wildlife are secondary. They use those, but the cattle are the dominant species to change the landscape, not in competition.
After showing me around his ranch, including stops at conservation easements and wildlife viewing spots, it was my time to give cattle wrangling a try. Did I live up to the task? Let's see how I did. Until you get to see cattle ranching in the flesh and experience it like I did, even a little slither of it, you won't be able to understand how important this industry is, not only for preserving the heritage of old Florida, but also for keeping Florida green and environmentally sound. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Conservation Nation. We're gonna go ride off and enjoy.